Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading room, the end of yet another work week. Woohoo! We made it. Not a bad week overall, I have to say. Today, of course, is our Rabbit Hole Friday day. And one of the things that we've kind of been focusing on the last little while are things to do with Fibonacci's. And I thought that today we would continue in that vein and talk about the last of the Fibonacci tools that we have here in our NinjaTrader, namely the Fibonacci time extensions. Now, these are actually pretty cool. I have to admit, it's something that I've dabbled with over the years, and I came across, again, Robert Miner's book. He develops a trading strategy in this. Robert Miner has a book, High Probability Trading Strategies. If you want to check it out, it's a pretty interesting read. But the premise of using, or his premise of using Fibonacci time extensions is to help your timing, obviously, when it's best to get into a trade. You know, we've experienced those times, like yesterday, when the market takes off on you. When can I get back in? You know, the market is ticking past each bar. When can I get back in? Well, Fibonacci time extensions may be able to help you with that. Fibonacci time extensions. What I'll do is I'll show you Robert Miner's strategy here today, but rather than, or pardon me, they work better in trending markets. So it works best when you have something resembling a trend versus a sideways trading range. So right off the bat, fib time extensions not going to work all that well in a sideways looking market. But if you have a market that seems to be developing a trend and you're looking for a place to get in, they may just be that little extra nudge that you need. Now, the way Robert Miner suggests is he actually starts his analysis with the regular fib retracement. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to eliminate the 23 and the 76 levels. And we'll just stay with the three main levels. And what he's looking for is a retracement to either of these zones. Now, if you've spent any time at all with Fibonacci levels, you know that there's a great deal of subjectivity to them, and that's really the pain when it comes to using Fibonacci tools. For me personally, when I use them, I like to see the market make a retracement back down here to the 62%. For me, that is the type of move I am looking for. And what I do is really quite simple, is I look for a 62% retracement, and then I can either use my fib extension. I should have thrown an extension line in here. Let's add an extension of 168. Oh, wrong side. So when I have a market that makes a retracement back to the, or 62% retracement, I don't know why Ninja built theirs this way, but they did. So I'm looking for a retracement of 2/3 of the last move, which is going to bring me down here to the 38% line. I will then look at my 168% extension as a profit objective. All right, so a very simple way to do this. What Robert Miner suggests is that, okay, you've got a market that seems to be trending. He likes to see a retracement back here to the, well, on our Ninja tool, it's 62%, but at least a 1/3 retracement, or maybe even a retracement back here to the 50% level, or 2/3 retracement. All right, so he's a little bit more flexible when it comes to that. When you get that type of thing happening, though, now you can employ your time zones. And the shortcut key for your time zone is F10. So we're going to put our time extensions on here. And what you're going to do is you're going to retrace the trend that you're interested in. Oops. There we go. Now, some tools actually have what is called a trend Fibonacci time extension. So you can put this on here and you don't end up having to move it. Again, I'm not entirely sure why NinjaTrader built theirs this way, but they did. So what you want to do at this point is you want to move your Fibonacci tool to where your trend, where you ended your trend, right? So this was our trend here from here to here that we're analyzing. And now I've moved my fib extension tool to the end of the trend that I'm analyzing. Got it? Okay. The point of this is that the market should, if it's going to resume the trend, do it somewhere either around the 38% mark or the 62% mark. Oh, it looks like I may have been a little bit aggressive here when I drew this out. Hold on a sec. Let's modify this ever so slightly. Let's take it here to the first peak. That's better. All right. So we have a trend from here to here. We have a third retracement down to here. So now we bring in our fib extensions, and the trend should pick up at either the 38% line or the 62% line. This is the premise of using the time extensions. So as time retraces 1/3 and then 2/3 of the previous move, that's when the trend should resume. Now, it happened yesterday. It was such a strong trend. You could have hopped in almost anywhere. But let's take a look at a couple other examples. Okay, let's take it back here a little bit. Well, what about this move right here? Right, this move that we were looking at from here to here, the market takes off. it makes a 2/3 retracement. When is the time to get back in? Well, let's throw the fib extension on here. So we're going to do our fib extension from here to here. And now remember, we need to move it over. Okay, so here was the 1/3 time retracement. We had a signal prior, but note the signal did not work. And then we have a signal here at the 2/3 retracement at the 62% level. And that's the signal that actually had a little bit of giddy up to it. Note that it was a little bit of an added confirmation of the red bar buy off of the hard edge here on the eagle. So we have a trend, we have a retracement, this time down to the 62% level. You know, a 2/3 retracement of the prior move, price-wise. So we put our fib extension on there, and then we draw it out, knowing that either at the 38% level or the 62% level, the market should try to make a retracement or resume the trend. All right, let's take a look at another one. Oh, stop it. All right, here, this is pre-market. No, here's right out of the market open. Right out of the open, the market goes up. It comes down. Visually, you can tell that this is at least a 1/3 retracement, maybe a 50% retracement. So let's put the time zones on here. Now remember, you're going to draw your time zones across the trend, and now you have to move them to the end of the trend. And you can see that the market again began picking up the trend right here on the 62% time zone. Now, how would you do this real time? Because real time, you could say, well, yeah, Eric, it's all well and good. I know that's a 50% retracement after the fact. Sorry, there. Real time, the way you would be doing it is once you suspected the market was in retracement mode, you would now draw your fib extension. So you would draw your fib extension. We've got a couple of bars counter. It looks like it's beginning to retrace. Now we draw our lines over. Okay, now we're approaching the 38% level, so we're looking for some sort of reaction. Okay, there it is. Do we get a buy signal? Oh, there's the warning dot. Now we're approaching the 62% level. And that confirms that the market is, in fact, ready to continue higher. And a very nice move resulting from that. As you may suspect, it works in downtrends too. So let's say we've got, obviously, the market moving very, very sharply lower right here. It begins to retrace, and even visually right now you can tell that, okay, this looks like it's at least going to be about a 1/3 retracement of the prior move. So let me get my fib time zone tool here. I'll draw it from here to here. Now I'm going to move it to the end of the trend. So my trend extending from here to here. I've now moved my time extension line over, and I'm going to be looking for a reaction to come somewhere around the 38% level. And look at that. helps, again, it coincides with the hard edge, the trading band. There now is the signal, giving me a little bit more confidence to take this green bar sell. We know a green bar sell on the Eagle is a strong signal anyhow, but here it just gives you a little bit of added confidence. Sorry, drew a blank there. It's been a long week. Now, as far as profit targets go, the move should end somewhere around the 162 level. So if we had shorted here, actually this it's going to end up going lower just after the 162. But if we had shorted here, we would look for the 162 level to kind of be the end of the move. In this case, it didn't work out that way. It was just the beginning. So as with all things trading related, I guess, it's never perfect. This move did not work out. So we had this big run up, right, from here to here. We have a rather large retracement. Let's see how that plots with the time extensions. So I'm going to go from here to here. And now we're going to move it over. Move it over. Oh, look at that. It queued up perfectly at the 62% level, and yet that signal failed. Well, it got up, but, your initial stops, let's say your initial stops were back here somewhere. The market began to rally. You could have brought your stops in a little bit. But really, when it turned this quickly, look at that, a beautiful rule of three signal, no less. But no, that signal would not have worked out very well. I suppose you could also use maybe the Bollingers are going to be a little bit too slow to use with the fib tool. We'll see. We'll try a couple more here on the Eagle, then we'll look at a few on the Raptor. What I like about it is, like I said, if the market seems to be running away on you, when can I get back in? So I've got to move from here to here. I'm looking for a retracement. So I move my tool over. When can I anticipate that the trend may resume? Okay, well, here's a move now, or a signal on the 38% level of the time. So it has retraced, or a new signal has developed at the 1/3 mark of this previous trend. Now you can see the Bollinger's not in sync here. I wonder if a different oscillator, let's try, we did a bit with RSI the other week. Let's put RSI back up here and see if the oscillator I'm just going to delete the average line, make that clear, and my RSI has always been well, it used to be fuchsia when we had fuchsia, but I guess I'm going to have to settle for hot pink. Well, no real clue on the RSI either. What about stochastics? And I'm kind of moving into a different realm here, I know, because we'll do stochastics another day. But I'm just looking to see if there's any tools where you may gain a little confluence between the time zone and another indicator. Oh, all right. The 38% level and the stochastics not syncing up. Now we're at the 62% level. We're back into the hard edge. Oh, all right. Now we're getting a stochastic cross. Maybe stochastics will be the tool to use in conjunction with this. So the stochastics cross at the 62% level of the time extension of this previous trend. Bollinger's not in sync yet. Let's oops, sorry. Okay, so the stochastics in sync, and it looks as though the timing was certainly a little bit better there. Interesting. And turns out we went much further than the 168. I wonder, you know, when the market starts to go sideways like this, and it introduces another bump, whether it's worthwhile to redraw your trend. So instead of having the trend from here to here, we'll draw the trend from here to here now. You know, adjust it as the trade develops. So now we'll move our time extension here. Yeah, no, I'm not liking that as much. Okay, so it seems to work well or better for timing your entries. I'm not liking it so much for the profit target. For the profit target, I think I much prefer either a measured move or the Fibonacci extension. Now, the reason that would be a little bit different is in the book, Robert Miner, of course, does everything on a time-based chart, and we are using our mean Renko bars, which would be a little bit different. All right, here now the current market, and we had this little move lower, nice little retracement. We have another little move lower, and so now we're in the point where we've got a market that seems to be in a little bit of a runaway, and we're looking for a chance to get back in. So we want something that's going to resemble probably at least a 1/3 retracement, because the market's moving a little bit fast here. So if we had been watching during this phase, right, the market starts to retrace, we draw our extension tool, and then we move it over. Now we could be on the alert here at the 38% level. And again at the 62% level. The stochastics crossing over now. And a nice little move lower as a result of that. Seems that at least here on the mean Renko bars, we're getting 200% retracements as profit objectives. So now that we've reached the 200% level, let's see whether we get another reverse or if the market just keeps falling. Okay, so a little bit of a reverse, and again, we're going to be looking for something resembling at least a 1/3 to a half to a 2/3 reverse. And you can pretty much eyeball these things as well. It looks like we've reached our third reversal, 1/3 reversal point. Now we're coming up on the first retracement zone. It always amazes me how the signals print around these time zones. There does seem to be some sort of tendency on the marketplace to do this. I don't know whether it's truly time-based or it's just human nature to try to do these things at these points in time. Okay, there's now the 62% retracement, so let's get ready to short that signal. Get my exit order out of the way. And what I'll do is we'll try to stretch this one out to the 200% level as well. So I'll get my profit order out of the way. So this is the time when the market should pick up the trend again. We're kind of in that zone. Remember, you don't want to split hairs when you're doing this. All right, there they go. They picked it up. Let's bring our exit order back to where it's supposed to be. It's going to add a 168 here. Okay, so here's my 168% level. Here's my time. Let's see if they get down to here. This is going to be my objective right here. So I'm going to go for the 200% level at the 168 point. Oh, look at me, I'm sounding like a regular Fibonacci trader. Is it going to go, or did they blow it out early here? Monster move lower. The whole 74.50 zone, very influential. Well, even yesterday, the market's spending a little bit of time there. Okay, now, this is purely for demonstration purposes. Do not do this at home. I'm going to roll my stop back because I'm curious to see whether the market picks it up here at the 162% level, which is what had happened previously. When we had these trends, the market started to go a little bit sideways, and then at around 162, it kicked in again and went down here to the 200% zone. And again, I think that's partly due to the nature of the bar. If this were a time-based chart, I'm not sure it would have that same effect. But because of the style of the mean wrinkle bars, like this is what the last 5 minutes or so we are experiencing this rally. So if we were looking at a 5-minute or even a 15-minute bar, this would have an entirely different look than what we're seeing here. Okay, so here we're now at the 162 time-wise. Let's see if they pick it up at this point. So like I said, we're doing a little bit of a mishmash here because originally the strategy was meant for time-based charts. Well, there seems to be a little bit more sensitivity at the 162 zone, time-wise. Maybe that's the one we should be watching. Okay, we got a green bar sell. Technically, it is still a green bar sell. The trend on the Eagle Cloud just barely hanging in there. Okay, so we've got two swings. I could certainly bring my stops in a little bit here. Kind of blown past the time extension at this point. What I would be thinking now is this reversing into a bullish position? Because we've taken out a significant swing high. So we've got this move from here to here. We're definitely seeing a retracement. So I would do my time extension maybe from here to here. Then move it over. Okay, well, no real signal off the 62% or the 38, so maybe we're still in good shape for the market recovering the downtrend. So we blew past the 200 and the time zone I was anticipating. We're actually making a little bit of a rule of three signal here. So once again, things starting to look maybe a little bit more bullish, at least short-term bullish, given this monster decline pretty much off of, yeah, right out of the gate. We went sideways for a couple, 3 minutes, and then the bottom fell out. I think on a day like today, you'll always be safer shorting, but that doesn't mean there can't be a little bit of profit taking, a little bit of a pullback. So I shorted the 62% level, but it looks like the 162% level was really the one that I should be paying attention to. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit of a shift now. In momentum, we're making higher lows. Sellers have to pick it up at this point. If they don't, the buyers will come in and give them a whack. All right. I bet if I went back here and did just a basic measured move, so a measured move is nothing more than finding the trend, finding the retracement, and then extending that trend, because the market does have a tendency to repeat itself. I bet you that will be very close to where this bottomed out. Didn't miss it by much. So that's probably why there was less follow through there, especially with a tool like the Eagle, where we only tend to see 2 legs in a move. We rarely get 3 legs in a move. All right, let's try it again. We'll just stay with it here for a minute, or why don't we do it on the Raptor? Because I know there's some Raptor traders in the room. So here we are with the Raptor. The other tools, the Raptor, the Falcon, the Hawk, they're going to give you these patterns a little bit more frequently because we don't need, or the bars will develop more quickly. We don't need to wait as long. So here we have the market. We've got a nice little trend here. We're looking for a retrace. That's going to look like about 1/3 or to 2/3. So it looks like we're getting there. Let's move that over. We got a lot of, we may have to change these bar colors because there's already so much blue here on the Raptor. But at least according to the Fibonacci time extensions, we should be looking somewhere here. It looks like it's going to be somewhere around the hard edge. We will have a 38% retracement of this time zone. Of that move right there. And when that happens, let's see what we get indicator-wise. If we're going to produce a signal, there it is. So here is just our basic with trend raptor signal. Gotta get this out of the way. Here we come now to the 62% zone. Let's see if we produce another buy signal, and I will adjust my trade accordingly. They're thinking about it. All right, a little bit of an uptick. Where's the signal? This would be a hard edge bounce, by the way. There it is. Let's see if we get any follow through. Now, again, the profit target was going to be around the 200%. So let's see where we are time-wise as price and time get near the 200% line. Let's see where we are. Get that well out of the way. Just shy of our high probability profit objective. Well, we'll see here what happens when we hit the 162 level. I was quite excited about this tool because it worked dynamite in hindsight. It did. I was plotting it on the charts and I was thinking, wow, this is great. Look at how well this works. So we'll see what they do time-wise as we get here to the 200% zone. All right, so we have, once again, we have hit our high probability profit objective. I'm going to give this trade some room only because I'm demonstrating this, but I'm curious to see uh, what's going to happen if we can make it here to the 200% time zone. All right, as we get closer to this, I'm going to adjust my stops more aggressively in anticipation of a retracement maybe. And it looks like I could probably bring my exit order in. Oh, let's squeeze the trade here. All right. Well, that one actually working out not too badly. I have to say I like it a little bit better on the shorter time frame versus the Eagle. We had to sweat it out a little bit, but timing wise, once we developed that signal off of the 62% time retracement, that hard edge bounce did not print as a hard edge. We must have come up a tick short of the hard edge here on the Raptor. But that's what it was. It was a hard edge bounce. We took the signal, and time-wise, it worked out very well. We'll see here what happens now that we've surpassed the 200% time extension, whether the trend keeps going or whether, in fact, we do get a reversal here. But I can't say I'm all that disappointed in that move. That was very nicely done, I thought. And like I said, you can do the same thing not only here on the Raptor, but you can do it on your other tools, your Falcon, Hawk, and Eagle. And just another little way to try to get on board. I think what you need to be wary of, though, is what happened to us here in the Eagle, where the market makes such a strong move and then another strong move. You have to make sure that you haven't already worn out the market, that you're not getting in too late. I would do the same thing here now on this side. Well, that's definitely move one because we broke that resistance zone. This now definitely move two and maybe move three. So maybe that's it for this leg. We'll see. We're encountering the primary resistance zone now. What sort of reaction we get from that? No, so far it's going straight on through like it's not even there. Okay, another little bit of a retracement. So once again, we have this leg of the move. It looks like we've got a little bit of a retracement. So we're going to focus on this move from here to here. Move the lines over. All right, let's see what happens as we approach what should be sensitive time zones here at the 38 and then again at the 62. And of course at the 162 as well. Okay, nothing at the 38% time zone. Let's see if anything comes of the 62%. You know, I'm starting to wonder because we looked at the eagle and we figured that we've already had 3 legs. I wonder if we'd be better off looking here for a shorting opportunity. So we are at the, sorry, I messed this up now. I do believe we are at the 62%. There we go. Yeah, we're at the 62%. We're into the hard edge, actually. So let's see if we get a hard edge buy. And if not, no, didn't get it. Okay, so this is making me think maybe a reversal of the trend is in order. So what I'm looking at now is this type of thing. The market's starting to head lower. I need a bit of a reverse first, right? We need to anticipate that the market may be giving us at least a 1/3 reversal. Okay, there's now the retrace. So let's get our time extension going. So we're going to extend the time from here to here. Don't forget, we got to roll it forward. All right, so we're going to watch the 38% level and then again the 62% level as a cue to help time our sell order. Okay, here we are at the 38% time zone. And right off of the hard edge, let's see if we get a sell signal. There it is. And here too, I'll try to extend my profit target out a little ways. See what happens when we get back to the near the 200% zone, which is way over here. Ron's asking, what is that yellow dot? I think you're referring to the yellow dot down here on the Bollinger Band Suite. The Bollinger Band Suite is something that we did a couple of weeks back. And here, excuse me, I'm going to keep that stop out of the way for the time being. The Bollinger Band Suite is actually one of my favorite tools. You can, here, we'll go to Indicator Warehouse here really quick. And show you, okay. So here is the Bollinger Band Suite from Indicator Warehouse. This is the Ninja 7 version. The Ninja 8 version is the one that I'm running. And it's actually fairly reasonably priced. We are going to be running a promotion shortly, folks. So if this is something you've been thinking about, it's a great little tool to add on, a great little confirmation tool. What it does is it analyzes market sentiment via the Bollingers. So the yellow dot simply shows when I've got my MACD on here, when it crosses the 0 line. But you'll also notice that it's a great confirmation tool for signals. So for instance, if we were looking, say, at this number 2 signal to short back here, the Bollingers were actually very neutral. versus, say, this buy signal over here, the Bollingers were already bullish. So it's a great little confirmation tool in that respect. Okay, they're making me sweat it out here again to the 162% zone. Okay, so the 162 again seeming to be a little bit more responsive. And if this is how it played out before, we should probably blow well past the 200%. Nope, nothing on this one. Well, like I said, the time extensions will not work very well when the market is moving sideways. But there you have it. Ron, the email promotion will be going out very shortly, so everybody, you should be receiving that. In fact, you know what? Just between us, um, I've already activated the promotional link. I'll put it here in the window for everyone. Just use all caps when you do that, and you can get in pre-promo if you want. All right, well, this one not as impressive as the one before, but that's why we're doing our rabbit hole Fridays, so that we can play with these things. One thing that I hope you take away from these rabbit hole Fridays is not just that there's 1,001 ways to analyze a market, but how important it is just basic trade management, identifying a trend, keeping a proper stop, taking profit on target even. Most positions will be in profit at least for a little while. Frank's asking, what is the promotion for again? Frank, it's a blanket promotion. It's we're featuring the whole inventory. So whether you want to, well, you guys already own the Raptor system, or most of you do, but if you want to pick up the Raptor or the Bollinger Band suite, or really any of the other tools that we have available, this is a great opportunity to pick them up at a discount. All right, a little bit of a hiccup. It looks like we may have missed the move of the day. That may be done, that the way the market fell off very early. We recovered a little bit off of that, but as is the tendency, the market will kind of hit the sideways skid after making a major move. That's something to anticipate as well. Well, here we go. Just back and forth. The fib time extensions, like I said, I think they're helpful in a trending market if you feel as though the market has gotten away on you. It's a interesting way to try to get back in. And regarding my profit objective here, I was just keeping it out of the way. So let's do a measured move here for a profit target. So we're going to look for the market to retrace that move right there. And it looks like these highs are more or less equidistant. So it looks like my profit target should be somewhere just shy of the next support zone. All right, better get on my profit target in here now. Squeeze the trade a bit. Come on, you can do it. Well, hooray! All right, well, I can't knock it too much. We did enter the trade, well, wherever that 38 or 62% time retracement was. We did need to leave a reasonable stop, however, to ride that out, but the market eventually heading lower. So, again, I think it boils down to a combination of things. Identifying trend first and foremost, without a doubt. After that, timing your trade, and I can see the fib timing tool being very helpful in that respect. And then third, taking your profit when you have it. And you can see here now that we're nearing the support zone, that that's exactly what we're looking at. So, I'm quite pleased with the way today was working out. I may end up incorporating fib time zones a little bit more in my trading. I did it a lot more when I was simply looking at time-based charts as a way to help time my trade. But I have to say, I'm quite pleased with the way that it's been working here with the mean wrinkle style bars. All right, gang. We're at the quarter to the hour mark. That's pretty much all I had for you regarding fib time extensions. If anybody has any questions, please ask away. Otherwise, I think we may close up shop here a little bit early. And have a long weekend. It's not really a long weekend. Just so you know, next week I may have to head out of town for a little bit, but Monday session will still have as per usual, and I'll know a little bit better as today goes on. All right, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Nobody has any questions. I will talk to you again on Monday. We'll see you then. Bye for now.